federal prison for smoking marijuana. So I am wondering how Vice President Harris could have pardoned someone who was never in federal prison in the first place. How did that happen?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, look, it's a talking point. I get it. It's politics. I mean, but let's be reminded when she was Attorney General of California, and I don't necessarily disagree with everything she's doing, but on this issue, when she was Attorney General of California, she actually prosecuted a lot of people who's had not just marijuana, obviously, because as you said, it's not only marijuana only, but they had other drug convictions as well. So nobody's been let out of prison because of these issues that they have done, the administration has done. Instead, young people are just getting more and more the perception that the government thinks it's okay. And we just have to think about, do we want to go back to the bad old days of big tobacco? I mean, that's what this is. It's secondhand smoke everywhere if you go to any of the major cities in our country. It's the issue with lungs, cardiovascular, stroke, and like I said, the mental health issues in addition to driving, in addition to the other issues. And people will say, well, what about alcohol? Yeah, alcohol's not good either, but we're stuck with it. It's culturally been accepted in Western civilization for 5,000 years. We're not going backward. We should learn from it. And if our taillights are broken, we shouldn't break our headlights just to be consistent here. We should, I'm not saying throw people in prison, but let's have prevention campaigns, awareness, and not commercialize and promote to young people, which is what's happening, today's high-level, highly potent marijuana.
All right, before I let you go, I got to ask you about this argument that it's not a gateway drug. I mean, to me, it's irrelevant whether it's a gateway drug. There's plenty of other reasons not to legalize it. But what's your position on whether or not it leads people to experiment with other drugs?
Number one, look, it's true that most people who use marijuana will not go on to other drugs. However, it's also true that 98% of people using heroin and cocaine today started with marijuana, along with alcohol, because they're the two most widely available substances. So when you make a drug widely available, you increase the usage because you think, well, it's fine, and your brain, frankly, wants a bigger high. And so there's research now on brains looking at THC and looking at how, for example, when pregnant women are exposing their babies in utero to THC, that actually the offspring are more likely to crave drugs like heroin. And we're still learning about it, and we need to learn about it. But this idea that it's harmless, there was new data showing that half of the people who used marijuana in the last month are using it every day. That's way more of a proportion than alcohol. It's about 10% for alcohol. So we are encouraging heavy use, and gateway or not, on its own, today's marijuana should really be avoided by everybody.
Dr. Kevin Sabet, thank you for sharing us. People need to know this. They can make their own decisions, but they need to have the facts. Thank you. Happy Father's Day.